All right. Well, welcome everybody to Chatting with Charles75N. My guest here is Lukas of L&M Guitar Corner. Lukas, welcome in.
Thanks a lot, Charles. Thanks for having me.
So those of you that are wondering what the heck is going on here, no intro music, no countdown, no nothing. Well, my computer decided that it needed to go ahead and do an update. And so right now we're coming to you from my cell phone while we wait for my computer to do its thing. So this will be fun.
A couple of more minutes, phone action, and then maybe the computer will work.
Yeah, the computer is thinking about behaving and going on. So we're gonna have some fun with that. But we are here with Lukas, and I've had the pleasure to know Lukas for about a year and a half, I think it is now, right?
Sounds about right, yeah.
And so I've always been, even with all the work that I've done with L&M Guitar Corner, usually I talk to Lukas first. Usually I talk to Martin first, and then I talk to you. And it's like, why is that? And I'm like, trying to figure out what is going on there. And it's just, I think I got to know Martin first, right? And so we go into that. And so I have tons of questions I want to know about Lukas that I don't know.
Cool.
And so folks in the chat, well, everybody welcome in. I'm sorry I can't run down the chat right now because we're doing this on my phone, but we'll come back to that a little bit later. So Lukas, tell us a little bit about your guitar journey. How did you get started in this whole crazy thing?
My guitar journey started quite late. I would say I was about 27, and my then at the time girlfriend, now wife, had an acoustic guitar standing around, and one day I just decided to pick it up and learn how to play guitar. And then I didn't take lessons in a classical sense, but I did a structured course, the Justin Guitar Beginner course. I bought the books and everything, and I was very dedicated in the beginning, so I made a lot of progress, and I stuck with it because, as you know, beginners usually quit in the first couple of months or weeks if they don't get a habit of practice. And yeah, if the finger hurts too much and the F chord just won't rings the way it should. But yeah, I stuck with it, learned on the acoustic. Then I bought my first own acoustic guitar. It was a Fender all mahogany, not a very expensive model. I sold it already. That was my first guitar, and I think I was playing 1.5 years or so, and then I got my first electric guitar. That was a Yamaha Pacifica, because I read online that that's supposed to be a great beginner guitar and very versatile as well. I guess you're familiar with the Pacifica, right?
Yes, I am. I've picked one up and I've played it, but that is definitely one of the ones that are on my project list that I want to fabric top. Because from what my experience with them is from touching them and from everything that I've seen on the internet and YouTube and everything else, is that the bodies and neck are really good quality. The electronics, not so much, right? And so I figure you're starting with, for me, that sounds like just a really great thing, because that's the raw material, a good neck, a good body. Yep. And then, and the hardware is on those is decent. And so, and so of course, I don't care if I find one where the body's all scratched up, because I'm going to change it anyway. Right.
If you will fabric topic, the scratches are no issue, of course.
Definitely. Well, fabric top and scratches are not an issue. And thanks to you and Martin, I can wire up my own guitars. So, hey,
I could say the same, but yeah, thanks to Martin, because I didn't know how to solder about a year ago. But yeah, I learned a lot from Martin in this regard. Well, the Pacifica was my first one, and HSS just was a very versatile configuration, and I eventually sold the Pacifica because I got this one. This is one of my favorite guitars. It's the HSS American Professional, and it's just, pretty much in every way a better guitar. And it's, I didn't need two HSS guitars. There was just no reason to keep both of them. I have a lot of guitars, you know that.
Yes.
most of them are like unique in the pickup configuration or in some shape or form. I have the other Strat I have is a single. That's the road worn, and yeah, Les Paul, an SG, stuff like that. A headless. Maybe you can see it now. You cannot see it.
And we're going to show off all those in a little bit. So don't worry, folks. I know you're hearing them rattle off all these guitars. And you're like, saying, but you're not showing anything.
Just let me know which you want to see close up.
We are going to get there.
Different tellies. So yeah, I'm a little bit of a collector. I'm very glad and fortunate to have this room here downstairs where about half of the room is my guitar stuff. So yeah, pretty cool. And so I was playing for a while, then I was in a band, but we didn't have any shows. We were just practicing. We were writing own songs. It was just a cool experience to have a first band experience, just to play with other folks. And when we split up, I was looking for other musicians. Mostly. Feedback. Maybe you can mute the. Okay. Let's mute.
Yeah, we're turning that one on.
We still have an echo.
Yeah, we shouldn't now though.
Okay.
We're good. And we're going to remove that one. And here we are. All right.
Great.
Awesome.
In the usual setting.
Yes. Well, we're where we should be. And so I'm going to go ahead and backtrack, if you don't mind, a little bit.
Sure.
Lucas, let's go ahead and welcome in everyone that is in our chat. So let's see. So if I miss you, it's because my chat it may be missing some things. So Cushman NYC, Herba Fireside Studios, this guy named Lukas of L&M Guitar Corner, don't know who that might be. We got our music-in-law, Ryan Hall, Cushman NYC, Paul McNary, and all the cats.
Who else?
Let's see, who else do we have
a lot
here?
Going on in the chat. Mr. BHB Jr.
Yeah, that's Bruce. Bruce is in the chat. Cool. Welcome in, Bruce.
Keith H.
And Keith H. Rico B. Rico B is just back from vacation. That is dedication. Just back from vacation. Already in the show. Love it. You got to appreciate that. Blackjack Guitar, good morning to you. Hello, Janice. Hello, Ben Coombs.
Ben Coombs also here. Hi, Ben.
Head Metalworks is up early and in here. Welcome, welcome. Guitar Man 45, welcome in. Good morning to you, sir.
There's so much going on in the chat.
And Jim Cox. So we are caught up. We are caught up in the chat. Only 8 minutes in, and we finally got to acknowledge everybody.
Well, if we start with technical issues, that's okay, I think. Interestingly, Rico B wrote in German. Grüß Gott aus sonnigem Arizona. So,
yeah. Great. Oh, and Jim Cox puts in the chat, he says, Charles in charge. Well, I don't know about that. My computer seems to be in charge this morning. And GTR 1952, good morning. Vox Guitar Rocks, good morning to you as well.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, good morning. Okay, so if you've put anything in the chat that you want us to acknowledge already, please go ahead and put it back in the chat so that now we're kind of caught up where things are, and forgive me for my technical difficulties. And I love it. I was chatting with Rico B over in Addicted to Gear prior to this, and he's just back from vacation. He says. And I asked him, so do you need a vacation from your vacation? Because, sometimes you just do. And he Absolutely. Says, and his reply was perfect. He says, no, I'm back from vacation so I can go on safari.
Very cool.
So I'm interested to see if he actually pulls something up, right?
Yeah, Martin is still on vacation. I think he will be back on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Not sure. Still in Egypt. So... a lot of folks on vacation. Les just came home from vacation.
Yeah, he is back, and I had a conversation with him this morning. His show will be on at regular time immediately following us, and so we're going to go ahead and drop that link in there for everybody before we finish up our day here. And so I'm excited because I've been missing Lass's show. I really have. And so interested to see where this is going. Yeah, he takes a vacation to the strangest places at the strangest time. I'm just saying.
Egypt and Jordan at these times. And well, Greece was safe, but Jordan, I think I saw a picture.
Jordan was an interesting choice. Yes.
Yeah, he was pretty close to the Israeli border, but yeah, all worked out. So.
Oh, I love this. Ben is giving me help, and he says, "I forgive nothing. You're supposed to be the digital's expert." And it's just because I am the digital's expert that I had to fix the system. And so 8 minutes late after giving what I've been through this morning is nothing. Cushman NYC is going to look at a Gibby Flying V. He's looking at a Flying V, and he's hoping to snag on it. Good luck to you, my friend.
Happy hunting or happy safari.
That is a guitar, Lucas, that is on my list of something that I do want to fabric top now, because now that I'm working through the Warlock, right, I'm getting ready to spray clear on that. I want to do a Mockingbird, and I want to do a Flying V.
I think the Flying V should be much easier than the one you're doing, the Warlock. It also has a lot of edges, but bigger surfaces, probably.
I think you're right, and I think that's why I want to do it.
You have a fabric in mind for the V.
Oh, and Janice is going with the whole vacation theme. She does not need a vacation.
That's also good.
Oh, gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, so so you went, and so tell me a little bit about this course that you took that kind of got you up to speed on guitar.
Well, as of today, you can pretty much do it with the app. Justin Guitar has an app now, but back then it was just the regular beginner course. I think he has different levels, like 10 levels is the beginner course. And there's an accompanying songbook. So you learn, let's stay with level 1. You learn 3 chords. You have an A, D, and E. And if you have the songbook, you can directly learn some songs, and you can put the chords to practice, and you practice the quick changes, the chord changes. And as you progress through the course, you learn a little bit of theory, a little bit of pentatonics, and more chords, so you can play more and more songs. And after the 10 stages, he has an advanced course. I think it's called an advanced or intermediate. And then I took that intermediate course, and from there on, you can pretty much branch out in the different genres you want. So you don't have to stick with the resources from Justin Guitar, but you can go anywhere you want, basically.
Yeah, and I've used some of his YouTube videos that are about how to learn this song, and I can, I'm right there with you. What he does is it's simple and it's straightforward, and it's one of those things where you can just go back and look at it again, and you can if you stick with it, you're going to get where you want to go with that. Absolutely.
And I never really felt the need to get a real life teacher, because it was just working for me. And well, I was sometimes jamming with a friend of mine who's been a guitar player for many years, or you could say decades now. So he was giving me a little bit of feedback. So it definitely helps if you have someone that can look at your hand and give you some suggestions. But I pretty much just did that course and progressed and learned some songs and learned some new techniques. Well, transitioning from acoustic to electric, you have to play differently with the muting and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much the way I learned. Mostly I took lessons for only a few months, because at the time when I took lessons, my daughter was already on the way, and I just met Martin. So that's about, let me think back 4.5 or 5 years ago, I met Martin. Interestingly, we live in the same town, but I met him online.
Of course, because that's how those things happen.
Yeah, because I was like on this platform where you can sell used stuff, and you can also look up people, or you can connect with people. And I was just searching for musicians. That was after the band broke up, or I left the band. I think they broke up later. I was just looking for someone to jam, because always playing by yourself is just not that much fun. And I was looking for other guitarists, and it was like some of them were auditioning. Well, I was. It sounds. It's what I mean is that we met, and we jammed a little and just see if we get along and have the same like musical taste, and if it works out. And then one day, his wife.
Hold on there, because I'm going to take you back. There's a specific question I want to ask about that.
Sure.
But let's catch up the chat really quick. Sadie Lamp Duo picked up a beautiful carved top Les Paul Studio this week.
Les Paul Studio.
Can't go wrong with that, right? And Guitar Man 45, he told Guitar Center, send him a Gibson Flying V to check out.
Cool.
And I bet you they do it. I bet you money they do it. And of course, Ben is saying,
has
it's kind of Mockingbird I can use. I told you, just send it. It'll get done. Whether you get it back's another story. That's no problem. Oh, and I'm not sure what this meant, but the Scooby-Doo thing worked well.
For the Mockingbird, maybe.
That's I'm wondering if that's what he's talking about. With Ryan, you kind of have to guess sometimes, but a Scooby-Doo themed guitar would rock, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. What else?
No, he wants an animal print. Okay.
And then Ryan is also saying that everyone is into V's this week. Okay, so
I think I never played a V.
I haven't either. I've never even picked one up. So I don't even know.
You have to put it like this, because otherwise you can't play it sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
Physically.
So it's like, I don't know what would be. You look at a V, and I don't know what would bother me more. Is it maybe the shape of it and the lack of material there, or the weight itself, right? I mean, I don't know. Do you get V? I'm wondering, are there Vs that are heavy, right? Because they're purposely using a denser wood material for a V, or are they made to be? Are they made to be light? And Ben, of course, the V stuff is not stopping. He played a V on Monday's show, and he's good for a while. He's like, okay, I'm done. But I want to go back to this, where you're talking about you and Martin. You were searching for guitarists on this app.
Yeah.
And so, how does the first conversation go with you and Martin?
I think, interestingly, let me think about it. It was like Martin's wife was asked by a coworker of hers if Martin is looking for another guitarist to jam. And she was like, huh? Not that I know of. Why? Because there's a guy in this town looking for other musicians or guitarists to jam. And then she forwarded the link to Martin, and then he contacted me. And do
you remember the first words? Do you remember those first words?
Not really. I'm not too good to remember stuff in this kind of detail, but I think I'm not sure which guitar he brought. Probably the 335. If you know Martin, it must have been the 335. And then we came down, and then we jammed. But I think before that we were chatting back and forth a lot. And what he said, now it's coming back to me. What he said is that he's not playing a lot of songs, but he learned a lot of theory. Right. And he was just writing songs, and he was playing a lot of fingerstyle. And interestingly, when I met him, he didn't use a pick at all. He was just playing with his fingers, all of it. And he was already playing a lot of blues, but no pick at all. And that's pretty much my fault, or the reason that he's playing with the pick now. I mean, there are a lot of great guitarists that never use a pick. Mark Knopfler and Jared James Nichols, for example. So you don't need a pick, obviously. But then he started to play with a pick, and I think he mostly plays with a pick now, electric at least. Yeah, and then the thing is, we didn't exactly know what to jam, because in the beginning he already said he's not playing a lot of songs, or he's not doing cover songs. I think we just jammed some blues. It's always a good starting point. Just some blues.
So it's so funny because by the time I met you, the two of you through Ben's channel,
yep,
it seems like you guys had known each other your whole lives, right? You guys had kind of have that vibe going, right? And so how quickly did that relationship between the two of you guys develop?
Well, pretty fast, because we, from the get-go, we wanted to meet each other regularly, just to play, and I meet him weekly, usually, and if we don't see each other, we're chatting pretty much every day. Not when he's on vacation and he doesn't have Wi-Fi in Egypt, but usually either through our Skype group or directly we're chatting about something. And so we met oftentimes, and we got to know each other pretty quickly. But the reason I haven't met him earlier is we went to different schools, and he grew up in a different town. So in the same part of Austria, but in a different town. So he moved to my town. He bought an apartment there. And yeah, the cool thing is we're living pretty close to each other. It's about a mile. So it's definitely walking distance, which is pretty neat. And I think because we meet each other weekly, it gives the impression that we've been knowing each other for a long time. You just get close this way.
Well, and one of the great things about your live streams is typically, I guess, Martin usually comes over to your place for the stream, right?
Yeah.
And we know it's definitely walking distance, because after the streams, when you've gone on to do whatever you need to do, Martin does the whole walking home thing with us. It's like streams of Austria with Martin. It's a lot of fun.
Austria at night with some street lanterns. Yep.
And it was funny because the vibe that you and Martin have going, and Ben has said this too, is very similar to when him and Richie were doing their show in the beginning. You know, and it was, and I've watched all the back episodes of Ben's from before, and it really was. You guys it was almost watching the same show but with Austrians,
It's licensed in Austria now. It's a franchise.
It's a franchise. Canucks with guitar, the Austrian edition.
What would be the equivalent of a Canuck with Austrian? I don't know. Austrians with guitars, just maybe. Well, is a Canuck? That's not offensive, right? That's just a different.
No, it just indicates Canadians in general.
Okay.
I want to welcome in Ryan of OU812. He is saying hello to both of us, and welcome in, sir.
Hey, Ryan.
So you've had quite the gear journey.
I did.
So why don't let's start pulling out your gear, right? Do you still have the Pacific, or has that moved on?
What do you mean in terms of gear?
Do you still have the Pacifica, or has that moved
Pacifica on? No, I sold that one off when I got this one because it's pretty much the same configuration pickup wise.
Okay, and so we're looking at a Fender Stratocaster here, and what's the year on this one? Do you know?
2018. I got it for my 30th birthday, so it was a gift.
Oh, so you picked it up new then? Did you pick it up new, or?
Yep.
Excellent. And so
from a local shop.
So this is your first big boy electric, would you say?
Absolutely.
And so tell us about this one. How well does it play? What does it mean to you?
Well, this model, the American Professional series, I played it in a shop first, in a local shop, and I immediately fell in love with the neck, and I still love it. It's still my favorite neck. It's a C profile. It's not too chunky. It's not too thin, but it's also a little bit of satin feeling back there, and it was pretty much the neck that sold me. I fully approve of the franchise. Thanks, Ben. It's pretty much the neck that sold me, and personally, I just think the stretch shape is extremely comfortable with the for the forearm here and the belly cut. It's just very comfortable. And HSS, I think my favorite position on a Strat is the next single coil. But if you play something heavier, it's great to have a humbucker as well. So this covers a lot of ground.
Good morning, Bonkers. Good morning. Yeah, and I'm there with you because usually on any guitar, my favorite pickup selection tends to be the neck. You know, the one exception about that would be my Univox here. And for this Univox, this is the first guitar that I've really, really bonded with the bridge pickup on. Cool. And I absolutely love it. And I actually prefer the bridge pickup on this guitar to the neck pickup. So, but I'm there with you. In most instances, I prefer that neck pickup.
Yeah, and I just think you're a tele lover, so you will definitely understand. But the neck single coil, that's just magic, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I really love that sound. And yeah, I've not been playing.
So let's see. I have kind of got a I think I'm having some technical problems again, which is interesting because I'm getting a little bit of glitching. So I don't know if it's me or I don't know what folks on the other end are seeing. So let us know what you're seeing, and we'll see if we'll have to figure something out.
I think it's
all right. So so you got the Strat and you fell in love with this Strat.
Yep.
What was your next step on your gear journey?
Well, I don't have the order in mind which guitars I got when, but I know that because I got this one as a gift for my 30th birthday, and I sold the Pacifica, I had some free cash, and I invested that in the Squier Jazzmaster. So that's also one of my early electric guitars. I can pick it up.
All right. Second. And so, okay, good. Thank you, Blackjack. All right, so apparently we're syncing pretty well to everybody else. So
cool. So that's the Jazzmaster.
Okay, hold on. Not so fast. Let's get you soloed out here. Oh, I love this Jazzmaster. I've always loved it when this makes an appearance on your channel.
And it's a signature guitar. It's the, can't see it this way, the J Mascis signature.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a 2017. And I think it still has the rosewood fingerboard. And the Jazzmaster is extremely comfortable when you are sitting down, and I usually have this tuned to E standard for the more grungy punk rock stuff. That's in E flat, not E standard, because it's just nice to have a guitar that you don't have to, or if you want to play a song that's down tuned, you don't have to switch the tuning on the guitar. You can just pick a different guitar. Looks like a J Mascis. Yep, you're right, Ben. And you have this Jazzmaster rhythm circuit when you use these wheels for volume and tone. It's the jazzy tone, but I usually stick with the toggle down here. Also, very comfortable guitar. So yeah, I think it's great. And why didn't you fabric a Jazzmaster yet, Charles?
It is on my list, but those, and I wanted to do a Squier Jazzmaster, right? Because I know I'm starting with a decent neck and a decent body, and with a lot of the other offsets out there, you're not necessarily going to find that, right? And so I just haven't found I'm sorry. I just haven't found the right Jazzmaster at the right price.
All right.
And for me, you know me, I'm cheap. I gotta say, I am cheap. I have to find a deal. And so Sean of Scar My Guitar is in the chat. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you here. Appreciate it. Sean has a great channel where he does really awesome things with building guitars and modding them as well. And so if you haven't been over there, that's one you want to check out as well. So, but yeah, no, I've been wanting to do a Jazzmaster, and it's just a matter of getting the right one at the right price. And so look forward, it will come up. It will come up eventually.
If you can get one at a great price, I think the 40th anniversary Squire, they should be great guitars. Not sure what they're going for in the US, 300-400 maybe. So they're not cheap. Yeah, and I think another early and pretty nice guitar I bought and still have is this one.
Oh yes,
with the new pick guard.
With the new pick guard, and I see you went the way that I voted on the chat on your survey.
I just think it looks more classy with a pick guard. And the cool thing is that's the original one, but for the black version of this guitar. So this guitar was, I think this is the yellow antique sunburst, and there's a black one, a blue one, and just a yellow or maple one. And I think the black pick guard, it looks really cool. Like on the Gibson 335 versions, you usually have a black pick guard as well. And look at that back. All the flame.
And it was interesting. I know, gorgeous flame on that. But talk about the pickguard selection that you were going through, because it came with the matching pickguard, correct?
Yeah, that's pretty much the same as the sunburst out here. So this pickguard with another sunburst on it, and for me it was just too over the top. So I had it removed because I just didn't like the look of it. And then I was at it really looks smooth. Cool. I was on the, you can say Ibanez Germany. It's Meinl. It's a different company, but they are the distributor for Ibanez in Germany and Austria. And in their shop, they were selling these pick guards. And it's just what I wanted, because before that, I didn't have it with, or I had it without a pick guard. And I just think it looks more classy this way.
It does. I love I love something that adds something else. And I think, and without the pick guard, yeah, it looks beautiful because you get to see both F holes and you get to see all the flame and and all that. And I love that. But the pick guard that was matching it with the same violin burst, it didn't add anything. It was okay, all you're doing with that is you're just blocking the F hole.
Exactly,
and with my opinion, but with this black pick guard, it just, I think with the black pick guard and the way that it's done, being a triple bound pick guard like that, it really highlights your binding in the guitar as well. It makes the binding in your F hole stand out a whole lot more, the binding around everything, and it even enhances that whole burst part of the guitar.
I think so too. It's not distracting like the other one, because it was just like...
Hello, Wayne.
Yeah. For me, it was not working, the one that was stock on it. And I'm with you there. It looks great without, but I just prefer it this way. It's same with my Les Paul. I'm always torn between pick guard on and off. But it doesn't have a fancy top because it's a studio, so the pick guard is on.
Yeah. Well, I have this philosophy. I generally have this philosophy about pick guards, right? And it's like pick guards and cars, because like with a classic car, a car that has fender skirts, right? That is an accessory that is meant to be on, and it adds to the look, right? It adds to the style of the car. So when people take the fender skirts off a classic car, it ruins it for me, right? And that's the way I look at pick guards generally on a guitar, right? If you have the right pick guard selection for that color, for that particular guitar, it almost always adds. And I know that I'm probably upsetting a bunch of Les Paul people here because a lot of them like to take those pick guards off the Les Pauls, right? And
it depends on the top.
That being said, my trademark Telly doesn't have a pick guard.
True, but that would be just a crime to cover that up.
Yeah, that was the idea about it. I had to sacrifice my own philosophy there because I was like, no, we're just not going to do that.
Well, the pickguard wouldn't add anything, so it's not really violating your philosophy.
That's true.
Definitely subtract. Maybe a clear see-through pickguard. That's the only option, like you got on another guitar.
All right. I've got to put this one up there. Okay, Josh, you're right. It does depend on the car. There are some cars that have had fender skirts that they don't add. And I think that's really the thing where I'm talking about here is if it adds to the look, it needs to be there. If it doesn't add the look, take it away. And that's usually kind of the way I see things. But,
Yep.
And Josh is a car guy. I'm going to trust him on that one.
I also like to mod things on my guitar. So it's also cool to get stuff like this just to give new life to your existing gear. You don't need a new... I don't need a new semi-hollow because I got a great one. So it's just cool because I just like it better this way. And I think you play guitars more that you like the look of.
Yeah, Eddie Faye, if you're dressed up in a suit and tie or a tux, you got to have the pick guard. Oh. Okay, Ryan, yeah, you're right there. 68 Catalina with skirts. Yep, definitely the way to go. And of course, and then we have folks that and that's a great thing. It's personal preference, right? It's what does it for you in that guitar. What is going to make you pick up that guitar a little bit more often, right? And it's okay. We can agree and we can disagree. That's fine. This is kind of where I take it from.
You're right. In the end, it's subjective. So.
Okay, and Josh says a beautiful flame top Les Paul custom, no guitar, trash cherry burst guard in. Right, I get that. When your top is so good that the pick guard takes away from it, by all means take it off. By all means.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think there's still plenty top with this big body. So
yeah,
it works.
It definitely works. So want to remind everybody that tonight Ben Coombs is doing his Halloween hang. So, don't forget to go over to that channel. And the link is there in case you've been under a rock forever and you don't have it. And our friends at OU812 are going to be on later today. And so let's go ahead and put their link into the chat as well in case there's some strange person that's never been there either. We're going to welcome in a couple people here. Billy Baloney, good morning to you, sir. Thank you for coming in.
Morning, Billy.
Appreciate that. And I want to go ahead and say hi to Eddie Faye and to Josh because I did not say hello to them when they came in. So hello and welcome in. All right,
someone stopping at a red light. Did you see?
This strange guy named Sethpressley, and he got a red light, and so he's checking out the program, seeing how we're doing.
On his way to work, I guess.
On his way to work. Yep, definitely. Appreciate that, buddy. Have a great lesson or two. All right, so what's next in your stable?
I think it's the telly you can see behind on the wall. That's the Baja. You want me to pick it up, or is it? Yeah, I can see. I think you can see it.
We solo you out, and we'll get a little bit of a better view. There you go. And Presley, since you're driving and you might not be able to see the chat, Blackjack Guitar is saying, "Hey, how you doing?"
Pretty classic looking. It's not butterscotch. It's a vintage yellow.
It's a TV
vintage
yellow.
Blonde. Sorry, vintage yellow. I'm making up new colors. Vintage blonde. You can see the ash through.
Oh yes.
It's not like the sunburn, the sandblasted one of Martin, but you can definitely see the ash body.
Okay. Yeah.
And 4-way. So that's the Baja with the S1. And a very fat neck.
I love all those options on the Baja.
Yeah, it's amazing. And definitely, I wouldn't want to swap this one for another single telly, because it's just, the neck is extremely fat. But that's what I said in the beginning. Most of my guitars have some kind of unique feature, and this one has by far the fattest neck. And I played this one before, but a friend of mine, he still has it. And at first, the neck felt really weird to me because it's massive. But the more I played it, the more I enjoyed it. And you can't get it anymore. That Baja is discontinued. There's a Vintera follow-up model, vintage modified something, I think. Mm-hmm. And this one, the price was pretty reasonable back then. I think like $800 for custom shop pickups and all the options. So more than your regular Mexican telly, but it also has a lot more features, and it's pretty special.
And you've kind of gone down the telly rabbit hole a little bit.
Yeah, I have two. So yeah, a little bit. Let me
grab the other more than two.
That's my second telly.
I was super jealous when you got this one. Super jealous.
And it's a telly, but it's come on, you cannot compare it to the classic one in the back. It's nothing the same. The toggle switch up there, two humbuckers. It's more like a Les Paul in terms of configuration.
Well, it's like you have it's like you have the flavors of all the tellies, right? It's like,
yeah. It still doesn't sound like a Les Paul because different pickup, different woods, different scale length. That really doesn't sound anything like a Les Paul, but just configuration. And you can have with push down here, you get nice single coil tones. And this is an American Professional 2 series, and the neck, which was the main feature I fell in love with on my Strat, is also brilliant on this one. It's at least the same level of quality and the shape and the material and the finish is, yeah, it's just amazing. I'm not sure if you ever played an American Professional one in a shop, but I just think that's the best neck shape you can get, in my opinion.
Here's the thing. Because I don't have the money for one, I have not been brave enough to pick one up because I don't know how I would walk out the door without it.
Yeah. Maybe if Ben is still there, he can leave a comment because he played a lot of Fender and I think American Professionals as well. I know that some of them had issues because most of you probably know Fender quality control hasn't been all that great in the last couple of years. But if they get it right, and they did with this one, it's really great guitar. And this one's also slightly modded. I just put locking tuners on.
Nice.
I really like those locking tuners with the thumb screw in the back. That's the best one in my opinion. And I also have this on this Strat. It's just a drop-in replacement. That's pretty cool.
And there was something about that guitar when you got it. The way that it's the blue, but it's got the black on the inside, and that was like really, really cool. What was that finish called? I forgot.
Midnight something.
Yeah.
A little bit sparkly.
And I love the way it seems to kind of move as you tilt the guitar, right? As the light reflects off it a little bit. Yeah. And there's sometimes when it looks black, and there's sometimes when it just looks dark blue, and it is a beautiful thing.
And I also like the dark rosewood. I think that looks really cool. They're all good. I don't know, deadly cut nuts. Yeah. I'm
which is true, right? Yeah.
I'm glad the bone nuts on my American Professionals were cut well, but I have the tools to fix it now. And
Sadie Lamp Duo wants to know, what is the wood on your fretboard? Is that just a dark rosewood, or is it more of an ebony?
Dark rosewood.
Excellent.
Let me grab my road worn for a second, because that's how Pharaoh.
Yeah, and Ben is thinking that the finish is actually Midnight Burst. Does that sound familiar? Right?
It might be. I'm not sure how it's called. That's Paul Pharaoh next to it.
Yep. Yeah.
Get it a little bit closer.
It is a nice, beautiful, dark rosewood fretboard.
Yeah. Paul Pharaoh also has this one. Has something to it. It's a cool figuring, but I like this one better. The dark looks cool.
I think guitarists, we're just creatures of habit, right? We want if it's going to be a dark fretboard, we either want ebony or rosewood, and if it's a maple, then we want we just want that solid maple neck as well.
That was, unfortunately, when this guitar, the Road Worn 2 came out, there was the situs problem. And so they didn't dare to release it with a rosewood.
Well, and you see, that's the Guitar Man 45 he's saying about your other fretboard, that it almost looks ebony. And it does. When it's more at the distance, it looks like it could be an ebony fretboard. So hence the question that comes up.
Yep. Yeah, I totally understand it. This one's also pretty cool. I just like to have a single strat, although I don't enjoy the bridge pickup, the bridge single coil. If you need one, it's okay, but we talked about that earlier on strats. It's the neck for me. But this one has the relict feeling neck with the nitrocellulose finish, and it's pretty much bare wood. So they got it pretty nice. It doesn't feel like a custom shop, but it only cost like a fraction of it. But
is your truss rod adjustment, is that in the neck on that one? Yeah. And awesome. You have access to the pick guard, right?
That's not something I enjoy. Guys in the chat, Gibson next or PRS? I think I will not show each and every guitar of mine, but because we only have like...
Yeah, we probably have time for one more. So what are their options here?
Gibson SG Ebony, Les Paul Studio in red wine, and a PRS CE24 in black. Blackout limited. So we have one Gibson.
We have Gibson in the chat first.
Trapezoid or birds? That's the question. What kind of email? I really like is the 335, like the one Martin has, but with the small block inlays. I think that looks awesome.
All right, so you've got two entries in chat. You've got Gibson and an LP.
All right.
All right, let me slow you out. I'm sorry, I was asleep at the wheel there.
No problem.
That's an interesting finish on that.
Yeah, that's the maple cap. You can see it here. The thickness. And if you hold it like this, it's really dark. It looks almost black. But it's red wine, and it's single A graded. Yeah, and Les played most of them. So he must know. And he was sleeping on the couch back there where my Larrivée is now.
You gotta love it. You gotta love that.
Yeah, it's a standard Les Paul. I think that's one of Martin's favorite of mine. I think if he could, if my house would be on fire and Martin could save one guitar, it would be this one.
So
Or the SG.
Josh is asking if that is a translucent wine red finish.
I think it just said wine red. It's the 2017 traditional model, if you want to look it up. And it's
nice because it's another one where as you move it around, you get you get really a different view of what it is.
It's not flame, but it's just a cool piece of maple on top of it.
Well, and it's just interesting the way what you see of the grain in it, right? In different places.
It has a very nice feeling neck as well, and it's being a Les Paul, it's pretty light because it has ultra modern weight relief, so you could play this one standing up, no problem, I think. And yeah, with this guitar, I just before that one I had a Les Paul, not an Epiphone Les Paul Studio, also in wine red, and it's just not the same in my opinion. It was the Epiphone Studio back then. The guitar was from around 8 years back, I think. Mm-hmm. So I got it used. It just didn't feel the same. So I'm not an expert on Epiphone guitars. We don't have any shops that carry a lot of Epiphone guitars. But to me, the Gibson just felt so much better. And I got this. I got a great deal on this one. I bought it new. It was less than 900 euro. So at the moment, they cost like 15 or 1600 euro, Les Paul Studios. So they're really gone up in price. So for me, that's just no reason.
It is popular because, slim taper neck. Josh loves the dark figuring in it. And Sean Hockley wants to welcome in Sean Hockley. Good morning to you. Yeah, but he wants you to know some beautiful guitar. It's just a beautiful guitar.
Thanks.
And Mancha's, yep, it's another beauty, all right.
Yeah, it's a great guitar, and the pickups sound really nice. I thought about going the classic 57s that Martin has, that there's not really a need to change them. I think Gibson pickups are great, no matter the model. So most of them I've played, I really liked. Also the ones on my SG. So that's a cool guitar. I think I added the pickup ring. So in terms of modifications.
Oh, the poker chip?
Poker chip, yeah. There was none, and I think it just looked too naked.
On a Les Paul, I do love a poker chip.
With all the cream,
yeah,
just as a contrast to the red body. I think it looks better.
Right, it's an additional thing, and it drags out the cream everywhere else, right? And so it's an addition rather than something that's dragged, right?
Exactly.
So you obviously you've got some great toys, not only in guitars but in amps. But in terms of your guitars, what is your number one? What's the first one you pick up all the time?
It's the one I was not supposed to show. It's the PRS. So now I have to pick it up.
Now you don't have a choice.
This one. It's for me, when most critics of PRS say it's neither a Strat nor a Les Paul. It's not. It's something in between. And for me, this is exactly what I like about this guitar. It's a bolt-on, so it's a CE, right? And it is a maple neck. You cannot see it because it's blacked out, but it is a maple neck. You have a mahogany body, obviously 2 humbuckers that you can split. And it's just everything about this guitar is amazing. And when I come down to play an electric, I usually pick this one up at the moment.
And so what is there something specific about this guitar that speaks to you?
It's pretty light. It's rather ergonomic, and it's very thin. You can see.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in terms of thickness, it's more like an SG than a Les Paul, because the CE24s usually have a maple cap as well. So the more expensive ones, or the regular CE24s, have a maple cap as well with fancy color scheme and everything. I'm a sucker for those PRSs as well. Not everybody likes them, but I like those. But they're also even more expensive. And this one was relatively affordable for PRS because it's a CE standard and not a custom or one with a maple cap. So it's light, it's ergonomic. The pickups just sound amazing to me. And the neck, for me, the most important thing is the neck. And I really enjoy the pattern thin neck on this guitar. And 24 frets is also great. So yeah, it's black, all black.
In black, right? Yeah.
100% black. And the cool thing about this CE standard is that you can feel the wood grain. It's not no grain filler. You can. It has a very natural feel.
I like that.
So
I think it works. It really works for that guitar. It really works for that guitar.
Absolutely. I think it looks classy because it's mostly black, even the neck. And on CEs, usually you get a natural maple neck. But yeah, I'm not sure when I bought it. Was it last year? Yeah, I would have to check on the channel when I release the video.
I know that's I was trying to figure out when I got the Univox, right? I forgot what month I actually got it. Yeah. And I literally had to go into my videos to figure out when did I get it. It's the same thing there.
So 2 weeks before the video was released, something like that.
Yeah. So your partner has run off on you on a vacation.
True, but he will be back soon.
And so he should be back soon. And so what do you guys have coming up on the channel?
Well, Martin is still going strong with all the modding, or not modding, that's the wrong term, the guitar building, the guitar kits. There will be another video about that next week. And I think when he's coming back, he wants to start with this, the finish on the semi-hollow, staining. He will do it's a sunburst. No, what's it called? Dark outside, and I just can't think of the name.
Yeah, it is a burst. Though, yeah.
He will start with the burst, and he will film that, of course, too. And I'm waiting for another guitar, and that's a first, not one I'm buying, but one I will be sent by Ibanez Germany to review. But I don't know when it arrives, so it's not been sent out yet. So that's pretty cool.
It sounds like a lot going on there, and I look forward to it. And I know that you're booking a Christmas show, Christmas live stream.
Yep, I sent you the save the date. It's the Thursday before Christmas. Let me see, and it's the 21st exactly. And a lot of our friends should be on with us, just like last year. Trev said he will join us. Ben, of course.
Excellent.
Les as well. And Martin and I will be sitting here with our Christmas sweaters. And
it is going to be great. I always look forward to that and put that time aside. And I so appreciate being invited to those. And it breaks my heart that when you guys have, because usually when you guys go live, that is the day that I take to go ahead and I move my lunch so I can be, I can participate in the live, in your live streams, either at least in the chat anyway. If not on the show with you guys, but I let my boss know, okay, hey, I'm shifting my lunch. I'm flexing some time here. I've got an appointment. And I tell her I have an appointment.
Or 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. And, for this Christmas show, I think I'm going to see if I can't just take the day so I don't have to worry about leaving. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Lucas, I want to thank you so much for coming on and being the first guest on this show.
Thank you.
And I want to thank everyone for being here today and spending the time with us. Really appreciate all the comments and all the things going on in the chat and everybody's participation. But Lucas, every time I get to talk to you, it's a thrill for me. I really enjoy it. A lot of folks in Jet may not know. When I was in the Army in Germany, I used to vacation in Austria, and and I really, really, really super fell in love with Austria when I was there. I thought I liked Germany until I went to Austria, and it was just it's like Germany but better.
Maybe we can work it out so you can come visit one day. That
is something that is definitely on my list of things to do. Cool. Just a reminder for everybody that go ahead and raid Lash's show that's starting right now. Ben has his show tonight, his Halloween hang, and of course a little later on, 5 o'clock Eastern. Ryan of OU812 and the OU812 crew are going live today as well. So make sure you hit up all those different shows. Lucas, thank you so much again. Really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks, Charles. I had fun too.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Did not mean to cut you off.
No, it's good. Thanks a lot for inviting me. I had a blast. A lot of fun. Thanks.
I as well. And I don't have a fancy outro today because I am not prepared. And so I'm just going to go ahead and end the stream. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Have a great Sunday, everyone. Bye.
Bye.